the World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world.
Hey everybody, my name is Lisa Ray. I'm a literary agent and I'm working with the media team here at The Grass Grows where I am, and we are so excited to bring you a co-author experience where you will grow your brand and your visibility. Click the link below and apply now for free, and we will see you inside the pages of The Grass Grows where I am.
Hello, and welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we will bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, because the grass is greenest where you are when you say so. When you choose to live in a place of no comparison, no competition, and no scarcity. When you choose to live in your own love and light and share your unique gifts with the world, because we are all unique. And that's why it's called World Healing Tour. Because when you heal yourself, you truly create that ripple effect for others to heal as well, that opening for them to come into. Each week, I bring incredible guests into studio to share with you their journey and their healing modalities to help you on your journey as well. My guest today, her name is Pragito, is a globally recognized master trainer in the meditation and a #1 best-selling Amazon author, hypnosis and keynote speaker for over 25 years of experience of self-development and holistic well-being. Pragito specializes in creating a safe and nurturing environment to explore in a one-on-one or group effective integrated session, which includes her revolutionary transformational approach with the Diamond Heart, I love the sound of that, Diamond Heart and Diamond Body healing modalities, scientifically proven for mind-body balance techniques, including popular laughter meditation, which we'll be talking about today, to support well-being in a playful and impactful way. Pragito, welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast. I'm so excited to have you here today.
I am very excited to be here, especially when I see your what you say about your business, heal yourself, heal the world, because that's exactly my story.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I love your story because, I mean, you've done so much self-work on yourself that it shows the kind of investment that you have to put into yourself in order to become who you are. It's not just given to most of us. You know, we have to dig deep.
Right.
I wanted to start talking about, what it means to you to dig deep and to discover who you really are.
Well, yeah, great question. So it started for me with a pretty abusive childhood. I had a very abusive mother, and I stuffed all my feelings down. I had a lot of fear, a lot of anger, and a lot of pain. And because I didn't know what to do, so I just stuffed it all down. And when I was 16, I started smoking about 30 cigarettes a day to stuff it down even more. And then I got married. And when I was 6 months, I got married, and then
How old were you when you got married?
23.
So that's pretty young. You got married pretty young at 23. And
Yeah.
and not to stop you, but when we talk about a mother, when I heard you say about your mom relationship, right? Mom and daughter relationship is something so important. And we so need our mother for emotional well-being, right? And that was a missing for you.
Yeah, totally missing, because not just for me, for everybody around her, because she was 100% narcissist, and so was completely self-absorbed and just didn't give any nurturing energy at all, no support. in fact, I just always felt like she was kind of stabbing me in the back, trying to drag me down. So,
Wow,
uh,
that had to be absolutely devastating to have that
yeah,
feeling.
it really was. But I have always had a very strong spirit.
Mhm.
And I somehow knew since I was the smallest child that there had to be something better out there,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And that as soon as I was old enough, I was going to get out of that family situation. I was going to find happiness because that's what I wanted. I wanted to be happy,
Mhm.
you know,
That's
and not,
beautiful.
oh, I just got a new bicycle happy, but happy deep, deep within myself. Yeah.
That's a beautiful way of putting it, deep, deep within yourself, because that kind of happiness nobody can give to you. It's a happiness that you give yourself.
Right. And then when I found out later was it's actually already there. Like joy is our essential nature and happiness comes from that. Only because I shoved everything down because when you shove down your fear, your anger and your pain, you're also shoving down your joy and your happiness. Of
Yeah,
course, I didn't know all that then.
yeah, it
um,
kind of covers it up, right? It kind of
yeah.
and also like you must have had a lot of resentment towards your mom as well.
Oh, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, hated her,
Hmm.
hated her. You know, I mean, obviously, I've done so much healing. I spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on my healing myself because I didn't want to live like that. And also, it was very much triggered when my son was born. I didn't want to be the kind of mother that my mother was. And I had a lot of healing to do, a lot of inner work to do, which I did. I 100% committed to it
Yeah,
gladly, you
yeah,
know?
that's beautiful that you are so conscious and aware of your son and not wanting to, you wanting to break that cycle of abuse and being able to give
Yes.
him a different kind of a nurturing, loving mom. That's really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And it worked. It's turned out pretty good.
Yeah, what a blessing, right? That when you put in the work, you can change your life completely around, you know? And it's sad because, when I think of your mom, I don't know a lot about her, but I'm sure that she probably came from a narcissistic or a background where she didn't get the nurturing and the love and the emotional care that she needed to be able to be the kind of mom that she needed to be for the amazing girl and woman that you are.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. So sort of passed on down all this pain and anger and resentment. And it was a lot of work for me, but I also felt like I didn't have a choice, that I had to do it. I mean, I had no idea at the time I was the change maker in my lineage, but it turns out I am. I just did it because of my son. That was my main motivation. And because I wanted to be happy. I just had this deep inner knowing that surely there has to be something better about life than what I was being offered, you know?
That's amazing. That strong knowing that there's something better for you and you're not going to give up on yourself and you're going to help that little girl or this young woman become who she needs to be in the world. That you had the insight about that so early in life is really special.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I get that came from my spirit. I've
Mhm.
always had a very strong spirit
Mhm.
and not taken well when people try and boss me around or tell me what to do, you know? Um,
So let's talk about your journey and
yeah.
how you got to where you want. I know you went on this amazing journey. You're an author as well, and let's talk about your journey to become the woman that you are today.
Yes. So as I said, I got married, and then about 7 years into the marriage, I think it was, I got pregnant with my son. And when I was 6 months pregnant, I found out my husband was having an affair. And that was, of course, it was awful at the time, but it was the catalyst for me because, I mean, I literally felt my whole life had fallen apart. And as soon as my son was born, well, he was 14 months old actually, I went to India with him to study meditation with Osho.
How did that
And
how did that come to be? How did you find out that path? I mean, it's amazing how when things fall apart, they're really actually coming together, right? But how
yes,
was it that you found out about this meditation journey? Where did that come from?
well, I'd been looking around for a while. I tried yoga and I was looking for different healing modalities. And of course, I'd heard of meditation, but there was no way I could do meditation the way I thought it was supposed to be, sitting in silence, because I had so much emotional turmoil and mental stress and physical stress. But then, and I can't remember exactly how I heard, but I heard about an Osho meditation center in London. I was living in London in the UK at the time. And I went to it, and they were doing these expressive meditations. Like there was one, I remember that first night I went, it was called Osho Kundalini meditation. And for the first 15 minutes, you shook like this, like a rag doll. The second 15 minutes, you danced. The third 15 minutes, you sat in silence and listened to the music. And the last 15 minutes, you lay down on the floor in silence. And I had the most incredible experience from it. And it was like, wow, I can do this because we did this physical stuff first, you know? So when it came to the silence part, I dropped down quite deep and I just became very interested in where these meditations were coming from. And so that was the catalyst that got me to book a ticket to India for me and my son. I filed for divorce, of course, because I couldn't live with my now ex-husband anymore. And it was extraordinary because I was really following my heart. Of course, my mind kept saying, this is crazy. What are you doing? But fortunately, I didn't listen to my mind. I followed my heart. And in India, I found this wide range of different types of meditation techniques. And it was the expressive ones that particularly interested me because I could not sit still. So there was the laughter meditation, the tears meditation, dancing meditation, humming meditation, dynamic meditation, and gibberish meditation. And all of these meditations, you could express your emotions out. So I was able to express my anger out in the gibberish, my tears in the tears meditation. I was able to access my laughter, which had got buried for so long. And the dancing meditations, like really for the inner child to come out and play and unleashes your creativity. And all of them end with either sitting or lying down in silence. So you arrive at the silence part having first been able to express out of your body mind repressed emotions.
That
Very
sounds,
powerful.
yeah, that's so healing, I
Yeah.
literally am sitting here and going through it with you. And even when you said the first meditation you went to, the first yoga studio I mean, it just like you could see how the movement and the emotions, how you have to release them before you can just like, be
Yeah.
in them, and let it go. And, it's just, yeah, it's amazing that you were able to find that. What was it like living in India?
It was a trip. uh, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of poverty in India,
Mhm.
and most places you go, there's a bad smell and crowds of people. It's very overcrowded. However, Indians are, in general, they're a very spiritual race, and I'm pretty sure that's why Osho decided to be born as an Indian, because enlightenment is very accepted there. There've been hundreds of people got enlightened in India. Whereas, for example, here in the United States, it's not such a safe place to be an enlightened person. So that part of it, the enlightenment, the spiritual part of it, was was really good. And the actual ashram or meditation resort was stunningly beautiful, with plants and flowers. And there was this huge Buddha hall with a marble floor. That's where we did the daily meditations. And that's where Osho would come out to us every evening at 7 o'clock to speak to us. And sometimes he came in the mornings, but usually it was in the evenings. And that was a very extraordinary experience, to sit in front of somebody who is enlightened.
Can can you
That was,
can you tell us about OSHA for people who don't know who that is, and also how long were you in India for?
well, I did about 3 or 4 different trips to India. The longest one was a year. And then I did maybe 3 or 4 shorter trips of about 3 months. And Osho, I'm trying to remember when he was born. Oh gosh. Anyway, I remember when he passed away. That was in 1990, and he was 56, I think, at that point. He became enlightened when he was 21, and he started to teach the dynamic meditation first, but also some of the other expressive techniques. And he gathered a following in India, but also Westerners heard about him and started traveling to India to study with him, because he had such a revolutionary approach to meditation. Because up to that point, pretty much everybody thought meditation was you just sit in silence for however long. Yeah. And Osho recognized that we had a huge difficulty with just sitting in silence, because we live such crazy, busy lives. So the mind is going a million miles a minute. We're full of emotional turmoil and physical stress, and we needed to get all of that stuff out of the body mind first, and then we could much more easily sit in silence. So, a lot of people just found him too revolutionary, but for me, it was like, wow, this is the only way I can do meditation, is to release all my emotions and mental stress first, and then sit in silence.
No,
So
I love that. That makes so much sense, right? And
yeah.
your son was with you the whole time through the whole journey?
Yes. So as I said, he was 14 months old when I took him, and in India that you can find, they're called ayas. It's like a nanny. And because the my money went very far in India, because it's much cheaper than the West. So I was able to hire her full time, and she was fabulous. Her name was Mary, and she was just so wonderful with him. And so that freed me up to go and do everything I needed to do with the meditations and so on. And then after that, once he started school, we would go in the summer vacation to India. And he loved it, absolutely loved it, because he had a lot of freedom there. And then when he was 12, we discussed it first, and there was an Osho school actually in the UK, and he ended up going there for 4 years. So he did all the regular academic things, but also the kids at that school had the more Osho's approach to raising children, which was basically to give them as much freedom of expression as possible. So that was a great gift to him. And of course, I got a lot of criticism. What are you doing? He's going to turn out like weird and all of this. And the funny thing is, he ended up going to Johns Hopkins University and getting a degree in physics. And then he got a job at NASA, and he's been working at NASA ever since. So
You did good. You did very good.
he did very good. And I think I felt like I had the last laugh on all the critics who said, it would not be good for him to be going to India and the Osho school, but in fact, he's done extremely well. And one thing that I really like about him, which I didn't have as a kid, was his ability to be totally authentic. Because I wanted that for him, because I was not allowed to be authentic as a kid.
I love
Yeah.
I love that. I love that word authentic, right?
Yeah.
Because to be true, to be authentic to yourself is just so important, and authentic with others, to have that freedom to be who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And when he went for the interview at NASA, of course, so many people applying for this job. But once he got the interview, I had a feeling he'd get the job because I knew he would sit there and be authentic and be real, and not saying rehearsed things. And and he did get the job.
Yeah, amazing. And authenticity is the highest vibration. They say it's higher than gratitude. So you did a great job with that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. Now I have two fabulous grandkids, and he is a great dad. And, the whole thing is really makes me very proud, and has proved to be totally worth all the time, effort, energy, and money I put into healing myself,
A
you
hundred
know?
percent. You can't go back, right? It's what we do now that really makes a difference. So to do it right the first time and to make, you totally healed that lineage of your family. So that's amazing. All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna take a quick commercial break from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chris Trammell. I'm the marketing director for The Grass Grows Where I Am, and we can't wait to work with you. And if being in this anthology book would make a difference for your brand, your visibility, and your profitability, click the link below and let's get you started. Can't wait to work with you.
And we are back. Welcome back. We're having a great conversation here. So I wanted to find out. So after India and all this growth and stuff, and you authored a book. Let's talk a little bit about your book and what was the message to help people, because you got I think that you got money for the book, right? You had a publisher company pick up your book, which is incredible. Let's talk a little bit about that, because that is such a amazing thing that you manifested.
Yeah, thank you. So, that's an interesting story too. Again, like amazing. So by this time, I'm living in San Francisco Bay Area, and I got a phone call one day from somebody who was something to do with the ashram in India, asking me if I would represent Osho at this bookstore in San Francisco, because by this time Osho had passed away, and that they had made all of his videos into books, and they needed somebody to, read from the book and so on. So I felt a bit overwhelmed to represent Osho, but of course I said yes. And I went and did this lunchtime presentation, and the manager was absolutely over the moon about my presentation, because she said she'd had a pain in her neck, and after my presentation the pain in her neck had gone away. So it was like, oh, fantastic. And she talked about me all over New York. And then I got a phone call from the senior editor of Ballantine Books saying to me, are you going to write a book? So of course I said yes. And of course, because I'd had a phone call like that, I got an agent very quickly, and he took the proposal to New York. There was a bidding war for the book, and I got a 6-figure advance.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
So
like incredible.
yeah, and this is the book here. It's called Lunchtime Enlightenment. And that title comes from that bookstore series that I did. Because after I did that one event, they asked me to go once a month, and they called it Lunchtime Enlightenment. So
I love that name. That's great.
it's fun, isn't it?
Yes. So you wrote your first book,
Yeah.
and you became a best-selling Amazon author with it.
Yes.
Yes. And how did that change things for you? Writing the book. What is it?
Well, I think the most important thing it changed for me was, excuse me, my trust that this really was my path, because it felt a bit daunting to try and sort of sell meditation in the United States, you know. But it confirmed to me I was on the right path. So it gave me a tremendous confidence. And the other thing it did was, and this still happens now, people can buy my books and learn about all these meditations from the books right away, because some people, they like to read. I know not everybody likes to read books, but a lot of people do. So it's a great way for people to find out a lot about these meditations. And I actually have a second book too, which I published about 8 years after that first book, Laughter, Tears, Silence. This is the second book.
And what is that book about?
Well, it's also about meditation techniques, and it's in 3 parts. The first part is all about the laughter and the laughter meditation and the benefits of laughter. The second part is about tears and grief and the opposite of laughter, and all the types of meditation techniques where you can express your sadness, your grief, your fear, your disappointment, because we must address the joy and the sadness. And then the third part is about the benefits of silence.
That's awesome. Are your books on Audible as well?
They're not, no, they're just on Amazon.
Yeah, that would be cool to hear your voice reading them on Audible as well,
Yeah.
because I'm sure you would do a great job taking people through the meditations.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
that's awesome. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment to be an author. So let's talk about how you help people, what you're doing these days to help people heal themselves and live better and more joyful lives.
Well, the most popular thing I'm doing at the moment is the laughter meditation. I do a free laughter meditation every Monday on Zoom. It's at 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
And
let's talk. We'll tell them at the end about when to come to the laughter meditation, but I want to find out, can you tell them about what laughter meditation is?
yes, so the first stage we just laugh,
Mm-hmm.
which is very easy in a group. And the second stage we sit in silence.
Okay. And tell me about why do you love the laughter meditation so much?
Well, it's a lot of fun, and it really puts you in a very, very positive state, highly positive state. And laughter is a dimension of love. So laughter opens your heart and it heals your mind. So because you cannot be worried and laughing at the same time. So it helps to erase anxiety and worry from your mind. And then physiologically, laughter releases a tremendous amount of stress from the physical body. So you feel more relaxed, more calm, much happier, more joyful, and more creative. Because of the wide range of techniques I teach, the laughter is the best one for unleashing your creativity. So there's many layers of benefits, and it's also very good for relationships. I love it when I have couples and friends that come and laugh together, because when you can laugh together with people, it really helps if get into an argument or have a difference of opinion. It helps you get back to your sense of humor more quickly.
Yeah, it's amazing. My husband and I, like, we joke with each other and laugh with each other all the time. It's so funny, like the most ridiculous things, but we just, choose to laugh at stuff, and we just have fun, ever since my husband's a very happy-go-lucky kind of person, and he literally taught me to, to let things go and to just be happy and not hold on to things. And it's really fun to be around somebody like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's a very simple technique, but it's incredibly powerful. And everybody already knows how to laugh, so it's not like you have to learn something new at all. It's just to put those two pieces together, the laughter, and then to sit in silence.
No, that's amazing. So, how long do you laugh for, and how long do you sit in silence for?
Well, you can do it for as long as you want to. It's best to do both parts about the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Monday class, we do about 7 minutes of laughter and 7 minutes of sitting in silence. But you can do longer than that. You can do shorter than that. And I also encourage everyone who studies with me to laugh every day.
No,
Yeah, whether it's with a friend or going on YouTube and finding your favorite comedians, just make a practice of laughing every day.
no, laughter it's so healing, like you said. It's
Yeah.
just, bringing joy into your life. So it's incredible. And so people can just come from all over the world, right? There's
Yes.
a Zoom link, and they can get into the room. And then do you talk at all, or do you guide at all, or do we go right into the meditation?
Well, if there's, I mean, I have a lot of regulars now, but if there's brand new people, I always just go through the instructions are very simple. So I just tell them what we're going to do. And then we do the meditation. And then after the meditation, it's open for sharing. So usually people like to stay and hang around and share their experience, or maybe they have some questions. Yeah. And that's kind of nice too, because it creates this friendship, camaraderie of all the people that come, and they get to know each other.
No, that's fun. I have to try it. I keep saying I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
So this is
you
this
do.
is Mondays at what time?
12 noon Pacific, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, guys, put it in your calendar. That sounds really good. 15 minutes of just laughter and relaxation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
laughter and silence.
yeah,
Yep.
I have to put it in my calendar so I could be there because it sounds amazing. I've never done a laughter meditation before.
So you have to come. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So how does this compare with somebody like something like transcendental meditation? Or is that just a totally different thing?
Well, yeah, it's a totally different thing, and it's a different tradition. And it's actually, I've never actually trained in transcendental meditation, uh, because, and this is, I think this is right what I'm saying. They chant mantras to kind of quiet the mind. And what I learned to do with the mind was learn to witness the mind, which is a technique the Buddha created 25 centuries ago, where when you're sitting in silence, you learn to disidentify from the mind, just like sit back and observe it. And that's when you start to realize that the mind is just a mechanism in the head. The thoughts arise, they are there, and they are gone. And you start to be aware of the gaps of silence in between the thoughts. It's an incredible practice, and it works very well. That's why people still do it today, 25 centuries later, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how these old traditions, right,
Yeah.
really are the healing modalities for us to follow, just like the Bible is, or like anything that is like that people have done for centuries. There's a
Yes.
reason why they've done what they've done, because it's really, they carved a path for us to be able to grow ourselves as well and not have to like reinvent the wheel all the time.
Exactly. And it works because what the Buddha did was he went on a journey because he wanted to try and understand why do people suffer, you know? And what he realized was it was because of the mind saying all these negative thoughts, etc. And that's when he sat under the Bodhi tree and he became enlightened, because he realized that if you learn to witness the mind, you can disidentify from it, and not get all caught up in what it's saying, because most of what it's saying is negative, not helpful. And you can also learn to only allow positive thoughts, because the more awareness you have of what's going on in your mind, the more you become the master of it.
I love when you say that, because I always say your words create your world and your world is created by your words. And
Yes.
so many people are not speaking into what they want, you know? They'll want to find their soulmate, but they say all the guys out there are terrible, you know? And
Right.
so how are you going to find your soulmate if you're already decided that it's not existent, you know? So it's like we
Right.
don't even realize how we're saying things that are not serving our purpose of growth and enlightenment and to get where we want to be.
Yeah, exactly so. And actually, that I address that with people in my hypnotherapy sessions, because that's where you can really start to understand that you can create your life the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to become that more self-aware to know what your emotions are, what your thoughts are, and you can change them.
Mm-hmm.
You really can.
Everything is everything. We can change anything. Let me ask you about your mom. Were you able to ever heal that relationship with her?
No.
Mm-hmm.
When she passed away, she had, in fact, she just got worse. She got more and more angry, more and more resentful and bitter. And I mean, it wasn't just me, it was the whole family. You know, nobody could get through to her. But of course, I did change myself, and I did find compassion for her. And when the nursing home called me to let me know they thought she was going to pass soon, because her energy was black, being fear, right? And I asked all my guides, all my angels, and Osho, and everybody, all my light beings, if they could surround her with light. And then they did, and I saw her leave the body in light, and I couldn't see any black. And so she went to the light. So that's the best I was ever able to connect with her, actually. She just wasn't available to anybody.
Yeah, it's so sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I don't know, I don't even feel it's sad anymore,
Yeah.
because it was her choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her like a million times, you know, you've got to be respectful to me. You cannot talk to me like that, etc. And she just, this is narcissists for you. They don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing, they're just not willing to change. So for me, it was more, I think I learned what not to do as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, that was the gift. And I also had to learn compassion. I mean, once I had to heal myself first, but then I was able to find compassion and understand that she didn't want to do any kind of healing this lifetime,
Yeah, compassion and forgiveness for her, right? You were able to
Yeah.
forgive her as well, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because that's freeing. Yeah.
Yeah, because, she was behaving the way in her mind she thought was the way to behave. And so, yeah, absolutely forgiveness and compassion. And realizing, as I said previously, that I was the change maker in the lineage, and that I'm not responsible for her. Because the other thing about narcissists, they're very needy. And I always felt her clinging to me, like she wanted me to make her happy. And it's just not possible to do that for somebody else. We can only do it for ourselves. And so, yeah, it was a massive lesson. And yeah, I'm just grateful for everything.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't all easy, and it wasn't all fun, but I just had such a strong feeling that this was my path to stay healing myself. And I still do. I'm always seeing how I can be more compassionate and more aware and so on.
Why is it important to heal yourself so you can heal the world?
Why is it important?
Yes.
Well, because the world needs healing. I mean, look at what's going on in the world. And the only way to change anything in the world or heal the world is when we heal ourselves. Mm-hmm. We have to go within and do all the inner work. And then this is the amazing good news that comes out of doing that, is that we not only benefit ourselves and our immediate family, but every time I feel myself becoming more a being of light, more compassionate, more loving, more kind, that transmits out into the world, and everybody gets raised up. Each time one person becomes more enlightened, everyone in the world becomes more enlightened.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. 100%. Beautiful. So this was such a great conversation. I know we could talk a lot more. There's so much more you do with the hypnotherapy, and clients can reach out to you and work with you as well, one-on-one. Let's go ahead and just tell people how to find you, how to connect with you, and where to go to be able to work with you.
Well, go to my website, which is discovermeditation.com. And you'll find everything there.
Everything's on the website. I love it. Nice and easy.
Yes.
Right? Just go to the website and find it. Well, this has been such a great conversation. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I so will come to your laughing meditation. I'll put it in my calendar. I keep forgetting because my life gets busy too. But 3 o'clock for me, Eastern time, because that's where I live in Florida, is a good time actually. So I definitely want to come and experience that.
Good, good. I look forward to it. And thank you so much for having me on your show. I have really enjoyed it.
Thank you. It's truly been an honor. I want to thank you all for joining me today on the World Healing Tour podcast. Until next time, remember to practice these 3 important elements. Number 1, every day remember to have a grateful heart and connect to your gratitude. When you are connected to gratitude, you're connected to positive feelings and positive emotions, and therefore drawing more positive people, things, and experiences into your life. Number 2, remember every day to ground in love and compassion. First, love and compassion for yourself, and then share that love and compassion with others, because we all want more love and compassion, but we have to give it out in order to receive an abundance of love and compassion in return. And number 3, every day know that you're not alone on this journey. This is a guided journey, guided by whatever you want to call it. I call it God. You can call it universe, higher power, source, whatever it is for you. For me, it's God. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful week, everyone. Namaste. Hi, this is Noah Crane. I'm excited to share this anthology book with you, The Grass Grows Where I Am. So just join us and be a part of this incredible book to help bring your message and influence into the world. We're excited to showcase what you do to make this world better. Click the link below. The World Healing Tour Movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world.